Is that better? Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me now?
I guess that's the problem with trying to use the 3 different apparatuses. Oh, perfect. Thank you for letting us know, because we would have talked for the entire 45 minutes and never have known. That's just how we roll. So we are making bracelets again, and we have a couple of interesting topics that we thought we'd cover.
Yes.
That was my brain cut off. I'm just like looking at you like, ooh, maybe cut me this bracelet so I can see what I'm going to do.
So the travel delays.
Yes, we're going to talk about the travel delays that killed everybody. We're also going to talk about John Held asking for like the millionth time about wristlets or bracelets for cruise cabins. We're also going to talk about a place that we used to frequent when we cruised. Cruise Critic.
When we cruised, you act like
you
act like we're retired.
when we first started cruising. Cruise Critic, and whether or not it's relatively dead in the water.
I mean, yeah.
Probably because of all of us YouTubers.
That was not planned.
Not planned. Nothing about our lives are planned. Including what I'm about to write in my bracelet. We're not going to have any fun combos until we figure out what we're writing, because
I need an idea for the bracelet. I really do.
Where's the little bookie? Where'd the little bookie go?
It's over here.
All right, mine's probably just going to say... cruise. And that's it.
Cruise?
No? You don't want to say something else? Cruise. I think cruise sounds good. Just cruise. We're just cruising. Just cruise. Found the sea. Yes, I hope nobody who is joining us tonight experienced these crazy travel delays that took over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
My boss is headed out of town tomorrow on a red-eye flight. She calls it a red-eye. I don't know if I thought red-eyes were overnight.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But she calls them her red-eye flights. They're leaving at like 6 a.m.
That's not a red-eye.
I know. But I'm concerned about her because Charleston Airport is still experiencing some issues.
And I know they said Charlotte today had 25% of their flights still delayed.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I guess it's one of those things, like it's just a ripple effect.
Right? Like once you have one issue, you're more likely, it's harder, I guess, to get yourself back on track and back together. I mean, the amount of people that were stuck in airports forever and who never made it on their trips. I mean, I don't know how many people I saw posting that either their clients or they themselves were going to miss their cruise because they decided to fly out the day of, which is never recommended.
Right. But even people that were sailing out
like the next day,
2 days prior, some even 3 days prior. Like I saw an update from a family today that they had, I think they were 3 or 4 days prior or something like that. And they ended up having to put one of their family members on one flight, 3 of their family members on another. And then they had to meet up, I think, in Denver. They all went out of Chicago. They had to meet up in Denver. But one of the flights had another layover somewhere.
Wow.
And then from Denver, they were going to make it to Seattle. Yeah. I don't know how people did it. But, I mean, they were doing anything to get there. And they said they were still a day late for their extended, arrival, but they still got, I'm assuming, still get to go on their cruise because they had like 4 days built in.
Smart.
We're
never that far ahead.
No, never.
We are definitely the day before. Very, very, very rarely do we bother with doing day of.
Unless we're driving and the port's pretty close. Like, for us, we could easily drive day of to, Jacksonville or Tampa, Port Canaveral. That's about it.
I mean, Miami, but
that's questionable.
That's if, we're driving overnight, there are no issues at all.
Right. I mean, all it needs to do is rain and it's going to take us an hour and a half more.
True. I mean, we experienced this a very, very, very little bit when we were coming back from Vancouver, and Delta had the issues and the shutdown. And I mean, that was the morning of our flight, and we had an evening flight.
Yeah, it was like 10:30 at night, but of course it's like, oh God, we're the last flight. What's going to happen?
Right. Like, you have to get that plane on all of its legs and then to us. So I can't imagine what those people went through. And I know all of the stuff is what they say is back up and running.
Right.
But I mean, if it can go down that fast and completely I'm going to go dark today. Just ruin, everything. I mean, I know Royal handled it pretty well with giving out, vouchers and cruise credits, like pretty much if you missed, they were going to give you your money back relatively. You need to cruise again, which that's amazing, but you still pay for those flights.
Right.
I'm sure, some people probably had hotels, excursions.
And that's even a trickle-down effect. I mean, you've got, the hotels. Are they going to give you your money back?
Right.
You've got the flights. Is it going to be a flight credit? Is it going to be a flight, just switching your flight? Like, we were very lucky when a hurricane came through. We were very lucky that we were able to reschedule our flight to 2 days prior so that we could go ahead and get out of Charleston and get to Florida before the airports closed. And JetBlue just switched our flight. We didn't have, the fare that, would allow that, because we traveled as cheap as possible. So
basic economy.
Yep.
But yes, they did. They switched our stuff all around. Like, we spent so much time in Miami that year.
Yeah. So definitely, I wouldn't have wanted to be those people.
Right. And I think this is just one instance where it really, really shows that traveling in advance pays off. Yes, it affected people who, were trying to get down there early, but they were more likely to make their trip.
Right.
Because they still, A, if they're close enough, had a chance to just say screw it and drive.
Right.
Or B, waited out to see if they could get on a flight later.
And some people were driving to, what the heck? I can't spell St. Croix.
We're not going to St. Croix. Yes, we are.
That's St. Kitts. Don't tell me these things.
We're not going to St. Kitts.
But I mean, some people, I think I saw another story out of Iowa that they were trying to get to Miami, I think it was. And at that point, even with as early as they were going to fly, it still wasn't enough time for them to drive to Miami. Yeah. Even if they could, rental cars were also sold out everywhere. So if you had to rent a car somewhere for something, those were gone.
I heard of a lot of people that were like, oh, I'm going to take Amtrak. So I know a good bit of people moved on and did Amtrak, which, I mean, an interesting idea. We did Amtrak for the first time, or I did Amtrak for the first time in June, and it was okay. Like, the seats are nice. I mean, it's a situation where it's a little different because you're confined in this space for a lot longer than you are an airplane.
Right.
And so, like, your neighbors matter, and we just so happen to not get a great neighbor. But the
I'm
seats
glad
are
I was
nice
not
and
there for that adventure.
You probably would have gotten your own row though, which would have been nice. But yes, if you learn anything from this, it's travel early and
yes,
plan for all adventures. This really had us thinking about different ways to get to Puerto Rico. Oh, so we can't drive to Puerto Rico,
right? I mean, I was getting so anxious. I mean, I've been anxious this whole time, even from the I lost my train of thought. I've been so anxious this whole time from talking about the hurricane. That started getting me all stressed out because it went right through where we were supposed to go.
Right.
And then now here we are, we're talking about this whole situation with the thing going down. I mean, it's already happened to us once. It was up within 20 minutes, but I mean, good Lord, if it could happen at any moment.
Right.
I don't know how I would handle it. I'd freak out.
Yes, I mean, you can't drive to Puerto Rico. We're not.
Nope.
We won't be that lucky that we can be those people who can get in a car and get to our destination. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, we can get in our car and drive to Miami, and then see about getting on a little hopper plane.
Oh Lord!
But let me tell you, I was scared in the smaller American Airlines plane. I don't know if I could do a hopper plane.
Right.
I was a hot mess in that little tiny American Airline. What do they call them? The
jumper planes?
No, the American Airlines, they're smaller planes. They call them a different, like technically they call it something not American Airlines. It's American something or something American.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember because we thought we were changing lines and then and it was still American. It was just their whatever. So yeah, that's our take is travel early.
Yes.
Travel early and travel fast. No, I don't know. I don't know where traveling fast. Don't listen to me. Ugh. Okay, so our next topic, our next thoughts is John Held and the fact that he has now, for it feels like the millionth time, asked whether or not people are interested in wristbands.
And I feel like
he
brought this up because of technology. A lot of people are saying, oh my God, the technology failed us. But I mean, I feel like we started all this with the Fun Times or the Cruise Compass being on paper. And then now we have the apps.
Right.
But yeah, he's wanting to know if people would like wristbands or the ability to have the app control things as well, like instead of your sign-in sale card or your CPass card, which I am a big fan of. I would love to have either the app do stuff or a bracelet because I hate having to wear the lanyard.
Yeah.
It's
interesting because I don't mind the lanyard like during the day, but at night it gets annoying, especially when it clashes with like formal wear or just I get a sunburn on my neck and I'm done wearing it. I mean, we did Virgin, and we found that their bracelets work really well.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That was, amazing. I'm not like a huge bracelet person in general.
Yeah.
So it was a little unnerving for me in the beginning, but like once I got used to it, it was fine.
Right.
And you can literally do everything with the bracelet. And
the app too. Like you can control stuff in your room. You can get chat with guest services. Like that just made me so happy because I didn't have to go down there and stand in line.
Right. So, I mean, we know I feel like Crystal, you comment every time he asks about.
Oh yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So I know this is not the first, nor the second, nor even the third time he's brought this up.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling, even though I know he has said in the past it's not happening and they don't have plans for it, whatever. I feel like it's coming. I feel like you don't keep asking the same question unless you already have some sort of plan for it.
Well, in that, and the Oasis, I think it's the Oasis class ships and higher have the what they call them? Not the magic bands.
Yeah, the option for those C bands.
Yeah, because somebody asked about those today.
And now when we went on the Symphony, they weren't available.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
And then you can't punch holes in those cards, and so that was very disappointing.
Well, that was Norwegian. You couldn't punch holes in.
But I think Royal, too.
Is it?
Yeah. Because I remember I was like throwing a fit because I was like, I can't put it on, on the lanyard. I have to put it in the stupid plastic thing.
Stupid pouches, and you have to take them out. And that's the worst. Norwegian needs to work on theirs because that's the worst.
And I'm one of those people. I like to get drinks in the hot tub and the pool, right? All of that. So having to drag my lanyard with me, and then the lanyard's wet, and I never wear anything on a cruise with pockets.
Yeah, well, we were girls. Girls' clothes don't have pockets.
Right.
Girls aren't allowed pockets.
Nope.
And I don't like carrying a purse around at night.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, I've left it in many places, and then I'm having to run back for it. Many a times. My chasing it down. Like, I left a purse here. Like, so I try very hard not to have to carry a purse. Hey, Cruise Nuts. Oh, gosh. And so the more I carry a purse, the more aggravated I get. And then the more aggravated I get, the less likely I am, or the more likely I am to forget it somewhere.
Right. I just get so used to not having to have it with me that, having it with me makes me want to forget it.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing I always have my phone with me because I'm always taking pictures. I'm the picture person. So my phone is with me the entire cruise. It's not usually on, but it is with me.
Yeah, we use that. We use cruises really as our time to not communicate with the outside world.
Except for when we go into port, and then I'm like, I gotta check Facebook just real quick,
because every year, they do something crazy with our hockey team when we're on a cruise. Doesn't matter when we plan it, something happens. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Carnival making some sort of bracelet app that controls more on their newer ships.
Right.
On their new ships coming out. Like, I feel like they're gearing up for something with the way they keep asking.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? What do you prefer? Do you prefer to have a card? Do you prefer to have a bracelet? The app? Kind of what's your opinion on that?
We're always curious.
Yeah. See if anybody's like technology obsessed. I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna say we, because Kayla, I'm sure you could care either way.
I mean, my landing works just fine, but it does get annoying.
And then, like, also the menus and stuff. Like, I am perfectly fine scanning the QR code. I do not need a paper menu. Save the trees, save the turtles, save whatever.
Now, is it easier to film having the paper? Yes.
True.
Especially now that we have a camera. We haven't cruised on Carnival and not had a paper menu since we bought the camera. So it would be a lot harder to get the menus for the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Because for some reason my computer doesn't always want to accept my cell phone. To record, take videos.
Yeah. But, I mean, screenshots, insert photos.
True.
I'm going to do a lot of that. I think this next cruise is taking pictures of the menu. And see how we do with that.
Yeah, I like to I steal your photos from Facebook.
Oh, dear God. So many photos. Oh, dear God.
Y'all, when I tell y'all we went through the photos from old cruises and
Lord.
just really had like this long trip down memory lane. And
I think what we stopped at 2000 and
yeah, we need to go back
14, 15. So we still have a bunch more to go through.
Maybe we'll do some more tonight. My computer died while we were doing it, so we kind of had to stop, and
we got distracted.
We haven't gotten back to it yet because we've been busy little beavers.
Sure can.
Oh no. I was so busy I lost my pieces. So then our big topic of the night, our poll topic of the night is cruise critic. I was gonna say, are the cruising chicks dead?
No, we're very much alive.
We're here. We didn't post a video yesterday because we went to the lake and I was dead.
Yes, I'm still recovering from sunburn.
Yeah, still recovering from the lake on Saturday. And it's Monday evening. I feel like I slept all day yesterday.
I mean, I know I went to bed at like 8 o'clock. I was just exhausted.
Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to film. And then, anyway. But, is Cruise Critic dead? I will say,
oh, interesting.
We've moved more towards no.
I personally have not looked at Cruise Critic in years.
Really?
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled it up for the first time in like probably years when I saw the Reddit about Cruise Critic. Like, honest to God, had forgotten about Cruise Critic. And I used to live on Cruise Critic.
Me too.
Like, I used to love reading the reviews. Even like reviews of ships I wasn't going on. Like, there were like some reviewers and like, or like cruise criticers that like I absolutely loved their content. And so like, no matter what ship they were going on, no matter like what, anything, I would read it and I would love it. But I mean, it has to have been since like, God, 2015 since I've really gone over there and done any research on it.
And I don't know if it's just because YouTube has become really popular,
right.
TikTok, Instagram, there's Facebook groups now. Because before it was, you had your Cruise Critic group.
Right.
For your cruises. And so people would just be on there, and sometimes they would say, oh, well, we have a Facebook group too. And then you'd have both, and then one would die out. But honestly, I mean, I always used it mainly for information, like wondering about something about cruising. And I don't know if it's because I know more now that I really don't need to research as much.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we used to like send each other like stories to read and things, and like that was where we went for all of our information was Cruise Critic. And it's just crazy. I saw like the Reddit page came through to my email, and I was just like, Cruise Critic? Really? I had completely forgotten. So I like clicked on it, I read through it, and a lot of them kind of had the same thoughts that Crystal just mentioned, that, Facebook groups have really taken over in the sense of, meet and greets. Everyone just finds their group on Facebook. And, a lot of people are watching YouTubers for their like reviews and such. And, with YouTubers like Hard Travel, where you can get an entire ship tour in 30 minutes, like, why not?
Exactly.
And so I know, I'm actually kind of interested to maybe log back on and just see maybe if some of the same people that I used to like to really read their stuff are still making reviews on there. Because honestly, the one girl, and I wish I could remember her screen name, and that it really hurts my heart that I can't. I really enjoyed her video or her stuff, and she took really good pictures, and she always had, it was like her and her daughter, and I know they had a pufferfish as a pet. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yes, they had a pufferfish as a pet.
Are you not going to show your
Oh no, that one, it's dying.
That one's really cute.
Oh, really? So I really didn't like it.
I do. It reminds me of ice cream.
I don't know. Yes. So that Reddit post just really like had my brain racked. Really, if I'm being honest, I was like completely. I was honestly, like I said, shocked that even it was brought up. Like I was like, oh my god, Cruise Critic. And then for people to be like, I don't use it anymore, and and I guess a lot of the moderators over there are very strict about like what you can and can't talk about, what you can and can't mention. So like if you have a meet and greet group on there, you can't bring up a Facebook meet and greet group or a Facebook group. And so people are just finding that it's easier to find people on Facebook than it is to get people on Cruise Critic. But I just think so much about the fact that was such like an integral part of our like beginning cruising.
Oh yeah, as soon as we picked our ship, it was like, okay, now we gotta do all the reviews possible.
Right, like gosh, we were on those boards so much, and
it was almost like the reviews and all that were the same as a YouTube vlog, except in word form.
Right.
So we're now, like for our upcoming trip on the Rhapsody, we're just constantly looking up Rhapsody reviews for that cruise and seeing what people do. Whereas before, we would have just, gone and looked at reviews.
And now, maybe that is a thing, because there's not a lot of Rhapsody reviews online.
Yeah, there's really
on
not.
YouTube. So maybe we will go to Cruise Critic.
Yeah, we literally have picked the most obscure cruise ever.
Well, we did it with the Jewel too. So like last year, we're looking up like NCL Jewel and cruising on the Jewel, and like nothing's coming up, and we're like, nobody has filmed on the Jewel. Like really? Yeah. Like I think there were like 3 videos, and we were like, oh gosh. So we were one of the first. Well, not one of the first, but you know what I mean. But honestly, I pulled up cruise critic because, obviously I want to do some research on how dead it is. And I mean, there's posts as of like 12 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
So.
I'll tell you what's dead is our Facebook group for our
But
cruise.
now, this one that was posted in 12 minutes ago is from 2020. So, like, why are people still posting in there? Yeah, our Facebook group is a kind of a dud.
I mean, you get some Facebook groups that, like, they post every day, all day, and they're, like, best of friends where they even get on the boat. And then you have ours where it was created in, like, May, I think it was. And there's only a few of us in there. And some of these groups, by the time we join, which is usually, like, 6 to 8 months out, they've been a group for like a year and a half, and it's like, calm down. Like, you've had this cruise book for like a year and a half. That's wild. To us, like, that doesn't happen.
we're not early planners. Yeah, we need ideas. How do we liven up this group?
Yeah, what do we do to these people?
Like, they just posted they wanted to do a slot pool. I'm like, that's great. I'm not like a slot pool person, so I'm not in that. But I just like, how do we get them to communicate? Yeah. Not that we're like usually like super communicative.
We're really not. I mean, we had 1 year where we were really, really.
Yeah, that was like back in like 2011 or 2012, and that we were the Yaks, and that was like us, and we're all still good friends, and we've all tried. Well, actually, we've cruised with a couple of them again. Mm-hmm. Once on accident, we just saw them on the ship. And we were like, excuse me, what are you doing here? So, but yeah, I mean,
we participated in that postcard exchange. That was so painful.
The Symphony of the Seas, guys, we have to like think things through. Like, if you're gonna go on one of the, at that point, was like the world's largest cruise ship, you don't participate in a postcard exchange.
We thought it was so much fun, and we had all these postcards made. So basically, a postcard exchange is you have anyone who wants to participate, and by a certain date, you have to give your cabin number and your name and all that, and then you make a postcard from your hometown for each cabin.
Yeah.
And then you have to go deliver them and put them in their little mailbox on their door. Well, on the world's largest cruise ship at the time, we had them.
I think we had like 30 cabins. We had
30 or 40, and we had them separated by floor.
Yeah. And
it was to the point where, like, it was almost the last day in the evening, and I'm still delivering postcards.
It was in like, and I mean, like, you'd have them for floor from like the bow to the aft, and like like both sides. I mean, I think we spent almost an entire sea day giving them out, and then we were just like, screw this. Like, I almost just threw the rest in the trash. Like, that was where I was at. That was brutal.
Yeah, but it was fun though. I mean, it was interesting getting the postcards and seeing, where everybody's from and what they wrote on there.
Yeah, and imagine trying to write out 40 postcards. Yes. Oh my gosh.
I mean, granted, there were 3 of us,
but still.
Some people were writing, like, each person in the cabin a postcard. Bless them. No.
I couldn't.
Each cabin got a postcard. And
some people literally, like, printed out and did sticker paper and were like, or tape or glue or whatever. And I was like, y'all were the smart ones.
Right.
Because that was not fun.
I don't know. I go back and forth. If it was a smaller boat like the Rhapsody, I would be perfectly fine with doing that.
We could do it on the Rhapsody. Maybe we should suggest that in our group. That will get
Let's think about that.
No, we don't want to be in charge.
Before we
leaving us in charge of something like that. That could be bad. That could be bad. I don't know about that. I'm actually, like, these are pretty active still, but but I don't see a lot of reviews. That is what I can say, is I'm not seeing a lot of reviews.
It's more questions.
It's a lot of just questions. Which is fine. Like, I think that's originally what it was for anyway, was supposed to just be more about, like, questions. I mean, now here's a review on Anthem of the Seas.
Ooh.
And they went to Europe.
Did they?
But I used to love, like, when people did, like, in-depth reviews on here. You know, like, it was literally like you knew when they went to the bathroom in depth. I loved those.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
If they were not in depth, I was not for it.
Okay, I finished a St. Croix bracelet. I love the colors of this one. Lavender, hot pink, yellow, coral, and it's got a little silver ship's wheel on it. And a little heart in between St. and Croix.
And a little heart between St. and Croix.
So now we are up to 3, 4, 5. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6. Because
I made one that I'm not keeping, even though you made one that you are keeping.
I am. I'm going to keep it.
Y'all, not me trying to see if I can log into my CruiseTips account and find the person that I really liked.
I have a bunch of bracelets that I had made last year. Some little girl in the neighborhood was making them for people, and it's like a little like money making thing. And I got a Gamecocks one, a Stingrays one, Steelers, and Penguins. And sometimes I wear them all. I tried to put them on with the Cruise Queen one that I made the other day. Oh boy. I mean, it was to the point where like they were so high up on my arm that, you know, they couldn't stretch enough.
Oh gosh.
Like, she made them pretty big because I have a big wrist, and they actually fit pretty far up. And then I made sure I put the Cruise one down further because the Cruise one was borderline too small. And now I have these like Pure Vita bracelets in the mix here. So
she's just all kinds of confused.
But then wearing them all and trying to do hair, like these little things get caught up in people's hair all the time. So I'm always like, meh. And then I'll find my bracelets somewhere at the shampoo bowl. And...
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just saying, oh no, because you have so many bracelets.
I do.
I was really hoping that I was going to be able to find the lady I used to. I wish I remembered her name.
How are you going to find the person you used to follow if you don't know her name?
I know. That's the problem. Sad. It's very sad. It's like hoping maybe like it.
Can you search your name in your old posts?
Oh god.
And comments?
I don't know that I ever commented. I don't know. Well, we'll have to look at this. Oh, there we go. We've done the hail.
What?
I don't know. This is all from like the 2025 Solstice cruise, which I know I have not commented in.
Nope.
That
was not us.
Apparently there's a hail bay is
Oh.
what it is.
I was like, what are you talking about?
So everyone's talking about this hail bay. Interesting. Now I want to go to Hail Bay.
Oh, Lord.
When they go on that Solstice cruise?
No.
Rude. Rude. I mean, we just saw that Paradise did it.
Yes, I know.
We could go to Homer. I don't know.
Let's not get sidetracked.
I'm always sidetracked. It's my life. I feel like they were right that Cruise Critic is not dead. Now I can go comment in that Reddit post and say, we all agree that Cruise Critic is not dead.
And see, Reddit's the other thing that, like, I'm not active on Reddit, and I don't really see what people are seeing in Reddit. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I haven't quite figured it out either. I'm trying because there's a lot of interesting information in there if you like look.
Yeah, I mean, a Google search will bring you to Reddit sometimes,
Right.
but, you know.
I'm trying Reddit. I don't know. We'll see.
Whoop.
That is where I got the Is Cruise Critic Dead topic of conversation.
Why is this one side don't want to? It won't latch.
That's always the trouble side. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on our live.
2 more bracelets made.
2 more. I didn't show y'all mine because I don't like it.
I do. I think it's cute.
Crystal loves it. I don't like it. I think it looks weird.
I really hope I get some bracelets on this cruise.
I really doubt it. Highly doubt it. I feel like
ducks. There better be some ducks.
Oh, you put the red one over there too, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, that'll be another day conversation. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.
What day?
Oh, Thursday. We'll be live again Thursday.
I almost said it is Thursday, Kayla.
Oh, it is Monday. We'll have a video out hopefully on Wednesday. If I can convince this one it's time to film. And then we'll be live again Thursday.
Yep.
And then maybe Monday, depending on our schedules. We'll see what the dealio is.
I know we talked about we were going to be separate Monday, but we may or may not be now.
Yeah, so we'll see. Good night, Chelsea. Give my boys a little squeeze for me in the morning, obviously, because I'm sure they're asleep. And tell them that we love them.
Yes.
And we will see the rest of you Thursday. Bye.
Bye.